today. Guess what? Today is Thought Leader Thursday, and I am Lolita E Walker. I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to be here for a number of reasons. Really, because the topic that we are diving into today is there's something in the water. Can you see it? There's something in the water. Can you see it? And sometimes I must admit that I don't see the things all of the time. And so today I'm going to take you through a metaphor. You know, I love doing that. I'm going to take you through, we're going to do a little bit of soul work, but I want to introduce you to this topic. There's something in the water. Can you see it? And how it relates to our metaphor around scuba diving. Okay. So just taking it back, I'm Lolita E Walker. I'm a certified life leadership and executive coach. If this is your first time here, I just want to say welcome to Coaching Cocktails and Conversations, where we have a power half an hour. And it's really about coaching is about leaving you with a couple nuggets to challenge your thinking. Cocktails is not so much about what you're sipping on, but it's really all about celebrating the greatness of who it is you are inside of this moment. This moment where we are right now, as you get the ahas, as you really reflect back, as you do a little bit of soul work. That's what I love to call it when we challenge our thinking. And then some juicy conversations because we are live. We are live in Breakfast with Champions on Clubhouse. We're in my Facebook, Coaching Cocktails and Conversations. We're in LinkedIn, and we are on YouTube. So for the thousands of people that are listening around the world, I just want to say, hey, and I appreciate each and every one of you all. For all of you all who are live and can speak, I'd love to hear your voice throughout the course of today, but on the replay is just as good as well. And so let's go ahead and get into this. And I know that if you've been here before, you already have your Coaching Cocktails and Conversations notebook right beside you because you are ready to write down a couple of strategies that I'm going to leave you with today. Before we get going, you know it's Black History Month. It's the shortest month of the year, but it is Black History Month. And so what we find ourselves with today is a little tip. The first African-American scuba diver, I want to talk about a little known Black history fact because some of the things we always hear about the same people all the time, and they have made some amazing contributions. But today I want to give you this in the spirit of the metaphor of scuba diving in the waters that we're going to talk about today. The first African-American scuba diver is Carl Brashear. And he joined the United States Navy in 1948 and graduated from the United States Navy Diving and Salvage School in 1954. So he was one of the first African-American United States Navy divers. And of course, he was faced with racism and a lot of things that were going on in the time, but he persevered. And so this goes into what we talk about here is what are strategies, tips, and tricks that you can leverage in your life in order to persevere through some of the toughest times in work, in life, and home. Not only am I a certified life leadership and executive coach, but my consultancy does speaking. And I've spoken at a number of events of folks that are watching and listening and here now, as well as coaching, because sometimes we need a partner that's right there beside of us. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today. I also want to bring your attention to another notable figure, African-American, is Albert Jose Jones. He's considered the godfather of Black scuba diving in the USA. He founded the country's oldest Black diving club. Pretty cool, right? Underwater Adventure Seekers in Washington, D.C. in 1959. And I'm proud to say that I'm in the D.C. metropolitan area. So it's really exciting to, when you look up history, recognize that in your city, in your state, there are a lot of firsts. So I encourage you to go on and definitely find somebody, look up Black History Month facts in your specific state. I think you'll be super surprised. And even in your town, you might even be surprised at what you find. Remember, today, I'm going to take you through 3 stages, okay? 3 stages of something that we all go through: work, in life, and home. And then I'm going to leave you with 7 strategies that's going to draw parallels between our metaphor of scuba diving and then how you can navigate life's challenges, whether you're at work, whether you're at life, whether you're home. It's something that all of us can use. And so this power half an hour is going to be super packed, but I'm here for some conversation as well. So let's get into it. All right. The 3 stages that I want to take you guys through today is diving in to murky waters. That's going to be number 1. How do we dive in to murky waters? Okay. The second is surviving dangerous waters. And the third is enjoying the clear waters. So there's 3 stages. And remember, today I'm talking to you as if you are a scuba diver. We've been on so many different journeys if you've been following me for any stretch of the imagination. And I love that you guys get so much from this here. But the 3 stages that I want to talk to you all about today, again, is diving into murky waters, surviving dangerous waters, and then enjoying the clear waters. Oh my gosh. When you even look at enjoying the clear waters, don't you just get a ah, because you know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And that is amazing. So as we dive into murky waters, what I'm challenging you with today is to think of yourself as a scuba diver, and you jump right into the ocean and you're going toward the ocean floor and you're seeing all of these things. But here's the thing, diving into murky waters. Murky waters in this instance right here, it represents things like confusion and uncertainty and fear. I know I've been there. And if these are ways, if this is something that you're going to see on your journey of navigating your work, your life, your home, I want to remind you that there's things that we could do. Is staying calm, relying on your training and your equipment. Remember, we're scuba divers. And then not rushing because you also want to see what's around you. We are diving into the murky waters because sometimes we get there. And here's the thing. When you don't know what's on the other side of the murky waters, it's scary. What is it that's happening in your work, your life, or your home that you're saying, you know what, today I'm going to jump into what seems like murky waters? And don't worry, because I'm going to give you 7 strategies in how you're going to be able to do that. But think about the murky waters that you might be facing in your life. I'm thinking myself, if you're watching me here, if you're watching me live, then you see my eyes going around because I also love to think about a situation that I might be going through so that then I can apply it right here and share it with each one of you all. I want you to think about what is happening that you can do that. Hey, Soul, good to see you. Thanks for being in the Facebook community and popping on. All right. Diving into murky waters, that's the first. Don't forget that that represents confusion and chaos and uncertainty and fear. It happens. And so, are you ready to dive in? Let's talk about it. Next is surviving dangerous waters. What could be some dangerous waters with the challenges you have in life? Well, today I'm talking to you about what's the crisis or the setback. What's the major thing that's happening where you need to survive these dangerous waters, right? How do you handle these situations? Sometimes you stay at the surface. Sometimes you float. Sometimes you look ahead. Sometimes you ask for a life raft. Sometimes you need a little bit of help in where it is that you're going. So I want you to think about, where are the dangerous waters that you are navigating right now? Where are the crises that's happening inside of your life? Where are the major setbacks that's happening inside of your life? Do you have a buddy? Do you have an accountability partner? I want you to think about the what right now. That's the piece that we're thinking about. And then we'll get to strategies. Okay. And then the third area that I want you to think about is enjoying the clear waters, because the clear waters is absolutely here. The clear water. So clear water, what does it symbolize? It symbolizes peace. Oh my gosh, just the word peace, just to close your eyes and breathe in a minute, the word peace. The clear waters are peace and clarity. Remember, I talk to you all the time about clarity plus confidence equals commitment. The peace is about knowing that there is success. Why? Because you can claim success right now, not only for the future, but you've had success. And so remembering what that success looked and felt like. I always share about my son, Walker, and you know, he's been really struggling in a couple of classes. And yesterday he came home and, oh my gosh, the clear waters are there. He said, oh my gosh, look at these grades. It's the beginning of the 3rd quarter and look at these A's that I have. And I said to him, was it a whole lot of effort? He's like, no. I said, does it feel good? He said, yes. And I said, imagine if you put only this much effort in right here. Imagine if you just did your best. Oh my gosh. Imagine that. Imagine the lack of effort when you're not doing anything at all. But when you just put in a little teeny bit, look at the result. And then it's not only that, but look at the result of the impact. Look at what your teacher's feedback is to you. But how are we going to make sure that these clear waters are here to stay? Why? Because you have dived into the murky waters. Why? Because you've been surviving, only surviving the dangerous waters. You've been floating atop. But I want you to look a little bit further. Right? I want your foresight to be a little bit broader, because what we know is that there's clear waters ahead. So I want you to keep on pushing, because that's where we're trying to go. Your goal that you said, honor roll, A's and B's only, that goal right there is where we're headed. So I want you to think about, what's that goal? How are you enjoying? What does your clear waters look like? How are you going to enjoy it? You've been there before, just in a different circumstance, right? These 3 areas that we're talking about today are just for you. They're for nobody else. So it's just me and you talking right now. And so I want you to think about diving into murky waters. What is that for you? That's that confusion, that uncertainty, that fear. Surviving dangerous waters. That's that crisis or major setback that's happening or that has happened. And then I want you to think about enjoying the clear waters, because it's right there. It's like you could touch it. It's that peace, that clarity, that success. You actually could be sitting in it right now for a situation. It's beautiful. And have you ever thought about the fact that you could be in clear waters over here and in murky waters over there? Monday might look different than Tuesday, but when you remember what Monday feels like and looks like and get your Tuesday prepared for it, then guess what? It's okay, because we already know that there will be times when we dive into the murky waters and then we have to survive the dangerous waters. I love that. There's a Facebook user who said, there's nothing like it, because these waters certainly do become murky. Come on and talk about it. Absolutely. And here's the thing. When you know that, you can plan for that. When you know that, you could choose to pause when those things come. And you could be like, you know what? I know exactly what this is. This is the murky waters right here. This is when Lolita talked about surviving the dangerous waters, because this crisis is happening right now. And so let's get into what the strategies are to deal with these and how you are going to apply it. I get so excited about this. Let me pause for the calls and ask if there's anybody who wants to lean in about diving into murky waters, surviving dangerous waters, or enjoying clear waters. Okay. All right. So let me go into these strategies, because I always get so excited when we talk about the strategies on how we can apply it to work, to life, to home. Okay. The first strategy is preparation and training, people. Preparation and training. And I know we always talk about it, but proper preparation prevents piss poor performance, okay? And we want to perform well, but we don't always. So we want to see where and how can we prepare and train. So just like scuba divers need to train and prepare before they dive, we also dive, D-I-V-E, not die, D-I-E. Dive, D-I-V-E. We also need to prepare for our life's challenges, our challenges that we're going to have at work today, our challenges that we're having with our scholar at home, our challenges that we're having in life. We need to prepare for those. And this could involve things like preparation, like education, skills development, seeking advice, writing up a to-do list for the week, doing things that properly prepare you and train you for things that are coming, because you know that what is coming. Okay, it's coming. So we want to know that and then properly prepare and train. That's our first strategy that we have today. So as you think about the murky waters, the dangerous waters, the clear waters, I want you to think about how. The how is what I'm sharing with you today with these 7 strategies, these 7 parallels that I'm driving and drawing to being a scuba diver. Okay. And the thing about the scuba diver is it's just a pictorial to really get you thinking and to help you remember that you're floating, you're exploring, you're underwater, you're seeing all of the things, you're getting excited at the newness that you're seeing. There might be some unknowns that are around the corner, but you are okay because you're prepared for that. Why? Because you properly trained. You've gotten yourself skilled up a bit. You know that it's coming, so you already have outlined some things. You're clear. You are increasing your confidence, and now you are committed to diving into one of those 3 stages that we talked about earlier. The next strategy is the fact that, guess what? You're going to face the unknown. Done and done. You're already going to face it. Check it off the list. You're facing your unknown. So divers often, they don't know what they're going to encounter under the ocean, in the ocean, under the water, under the sea. I love the Little Mermaid. As a side note, so they don't know what they're going to encounter. So oftentimes we don't even know the challenges that's going to be thrown our way. We can be taken off. We get one phone call, and next thing you know, there's 2 hours later because you're living in your gifts in the moment, or something has happened. You now need to, you're diving into a murky water that you didn't even see right there. You know, when you go on vacation and you walk into the beautiful ocean, a beautiful blue ocean, all of a sudden you're walking, and then boom, you're down. You're like, what happened to the sand right there? Right? Sometimes you don't even know you're about to dip. So you got to be prepared to swim. You got to be prepared to stop if you're not a swimmer right there where the water's going to hit your ankles. You got to know where your limitations are, because if you keep on going out into the waters of the unknown, what's going to happen? You don't know where the unknown is. So we want to prepare ourselves, and then we want to face the unknown. The third thing I want to talk to you all today, as I take a look at the time and we only have 15 more minutes together, is trusting in the equipment and the tools. Oh my gosh. How scary is that? I don't know if you've ever been parasailing or even on an airplane. You got to trust that this thing is going to get you from A to B. You're going to put on your seatbelt. You're going to trust that the pilot is already equipped to be able to take you there. You're going to trust that the maintenance has been done. You're going to trust that everybody has done their job around you. And guess what? You didn't need to jump into that to help. So sometimes we don't need to jump into other people's murky waters, right? We got our own over here. I want you to trust in the equipment and the tools that you have and that others have in order to help you on your journey. So divers rely on their equipment to survive underwater. Rely on the equipment that you already have. We have tools that we know right here in our toolkit for our work, our life, our home. We have skills, we have knowledge, we have support systems. We have trainings, we have certifications, we have knowledge, we have our confidence, we have our community. We have those things so we can dive into the unknown because we're trusting the equipment, the tools in our own toolbox. And if you don't have a tool, then go get it. If you need it, then go get trained up. Why? Because we already talked about strategy number 1. It's right there available to you. And sometimes it's free. Sometimes the people that's right in your community can help you with it. Sometimes you have to pay for it because it's something that you need to have in your toolkit, because it's not just for now. You're already looking further ahead and you're being strategic in your vantage point. Sometimes you got to pause long enough to say, I'm trusting the tools and the skills that I have. I'm going to stand on this thing, and I might have to stand on it solo, but I'm confident in it. I'm confident in it. And so I'm going ahead. My friends might not want to dive with me today. Sometimes you got to be like, guess what? You could stay right here. I'll be right back. But I'm going to enjoy these moments because why? I know that the clear waters are on the other side. And you might not be able to support me in this thing, but I stand on what I stand on because I know that I trust in the equipment and tools that I already have. Think about it. Strategy number 4 is this buddy system. Guys, you can't do it alone. We talk about it all the time. You will not do this thing alone. And if you're trying to be a solo champion, it's only going to last for a limited time. And it might not even be wrong, right? They always have a buddy. When I say always, always, always have a buddy in life, we have a support system. They can help us navigate through the tough times. They can help us survive the dangerous waters and help us celebrate in these clear waters. And so I want you to think about, when we started, what situation are you want to break things down into small manageable parts. And so you choose a situation, you choose how can you apply it? What scenario does it fit in? Does it fit in that it's a murky water in my life right now? Does it fit in that it's dangerous waters that I have to survive in right now? Does it fit in enjoying clear waters? Because scenario 1 might not fit in your box number 1. Okay. And so sometimes you got to break it down into what the task is, into what you're talking about, your work, your life, your home, so that you can do that effectively and efficiently. Good. I love this. We're going to conservation of energy. That's strategy number 5. We got to conserve some energy. Why? Because divers conserve their oxygen and their energy to ensure that they can return to the surface safely. You hear that? Sometimes you need a therapist. Sometimes you need a coach by your side. Sometimes you need a power player because you have to conserve the energy. Why? Because you got to return back to this place. So we're not going to let ourselves get in this emotional and physical and even spiritual confusion when we can press pause. When we can press pause and conserve the energy. So we know that now we're preparing, we're facing the unknown, we're trusting our equipment. We have this buddy system because we know divers, which we are in this scenario, need that to survive. And then we are conserving our energy. Think about it. If you're under the sea, you got to conserve your energy. You got to conserve your oxygen. We want to do that in life. I want you to think about this. I hope you have the pictorial of you underwater and exploring whatever situation that you have or life, because you might not even have opened that door up already. You might not have seen that rainbow fish already. You might not have seen that super cool coral that's right there. I want you to think about how it applies to you. And then strategy number 6 is respect the environment. Respect the environment. Respect you in the environment. Divers always have to respect the underwater environment to understand how powerful it is and the fact that it can change on a dime. Imagine being underwater. The current can change on a dime. It changes rapidly. So life is pretty similar, right? We respect the situations that can change quickly. We know that, we respect that, and if we know that, we could get our minds together because why? We already have the tools right here. And so I want to remind you that the tools are right here. How are you challenging yourself to respect the environment that's around you, to respect you, to respect the change that is going to come? Because when you know it, you act accordingly. When you know it, you act accordingly. What situation and scenario do you have in your mind? How does it apply to respecting your environment, respecting your boundaries? What does it mean to you? You got to take what I'm saying and then apply it. And then if you're unable to do that, then you just give me a call and we'll work on it. We have coaching. It's amazing the power that is in there when you decide that I'm going to leverage these strategies. I'm going to take this information. I'm going to listen back to the replay. I'm going to do the things that are necessary for me to be able to navigate my work, my life, my home. And then here it is, strategy number 7, enjoying and appreciating. What do I call that often? Celebrating your small wins. I share with you all the time. I can look over here and look at my small wins board. Look at my small wins board. Today is the start of the month. And so today what we do is we go back and we read every single small win from the 31 days of January or the 30 days from the month before. You can do that. You can write up your small win every single day. You can do that for everybody inside of your house. And then imagine the small wins as you read them out. What does it do? It rejuvenates you. It helps you to know that this isn't the last dive that I'm going to take. I have been here. I have dived into the murky waters. I've survived the dangerous waters. And now I am enjoying the clear waters. And when you go through those things, you recognize that every day wasn't a great day. But what did you do? You celebrated one small win. So how are you celebrating this month? This piece is about enjoying and appreciating despite the risks, despite the challenges, despite the murky waters, despite the dangerous waters. Guess what? You're standing right here. And the diver in you can enjoy the beauty of this underwater world. You can enjoy the beauty of the clear waters. You can look and say, oh my gosh, I can't see beyond that, but I'm okay to go around that and go into what looks like murky over here because I'm good. I want to explore. My goal is to see all of the things. My goal is to see all of the things. Kanika wrote, hey, good morning, Kanika. Kanika wrote, small wins board. I remember this concept that you taught us. Absolutely. And I hope that you're still doing it. And if you're not, guess what? It's the start of a new month and you can start it anytime. Even if it's day 15, guess what you can do? You can put 15 through 30 right there, or 15 through 29 right there. And you can then start today. There's nothing saying you can't start today. It's important to find and appreciate the beauty in life. And so these parallels that I gave you today, I wanted to provide you with some coaching cocktails and conversations around how you can navigate through life's journeys. Remember, Just like a scuba diver, which you are right now, you have the ability to navigate what? The murky waters, the dangerous waters, and the clear waters. You are doing it today. So how can you apply it and just grab one of the 7 strategies that I talked to you all about today? I hope you grab something from it. And guess what? You can always come back to the replay. You can join me on Coaching Cocktails and Conversations, the podcast. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys too. I'll link it here. Is that these here are the podcast. Okay. These here are what then contributes to the podcast. And when you listen to the podcast, actually, you'll get a little bit more because I add a little bit of juiciness inside of each and every episode. But here is where you can also go on and put a review. Why? Because you're listening to the podcast as we talk right now. So you too can go to bit.ly/Lolita Reviews. L is a capital L, R is a capital R, Lolita Reviews, and it'll take you right there so that you can write a review for my podcast. 5 stars always looks amazing. Tell somebody else about how you have leveraged this episode in order to dive in murky waters, survive dangerous waters, and enjoy the clear waters. I hear from you all the time. Believe me, I look at the DMs. I try to respond back to everybody. And here's the thing, just write it on a review because sometimes I can't get it out to the masses, but you can. It's in your hands. It's the clear waters that I'm looking at over here. So I'm really excited about that. And so I want to open it up one more time and let you guys jump in these 2 minutes that we have left. I think I can take one person. All right, you guys, listen, I always tell you guys, listen, here's the thing. You got to jump in order to be in. The Small Wins Board, I'll read what's happening online. So a Facebook user says, Small Wins Board is a great reminder that every day, big or small, I am a winner. That's awesome, Soul. Thank you for teaching me this, Lolita E Walker. Absolutely. You know why? Because you are a winner. Oh, I went to this conference the other day, you guys. I'll take up the last minute. I went to this conference the other day, and there was a gentleman who kicked it off. It was for the National School Boards Association. And he kicked it off with this song, I Am a 10. I'm a 10. I'm a 10. And he said, how many of us don't know that we're a 10? How many of us are out here thinking we 7s and 6s and 5s? If you were to say today, am I a 10? Are you a 10? And then he hit it with this song, and it was so freaking good. And I said to myself, how many people don't know that they're a 10? And we're not a 10, and we don't feel a 10 in every situation, but we were really talking about our scholars in school, but you can apply that to you as well. Today, you are a 10. Today, you have the tools to dive into murky waters, to survive the dangerous waters, and to enjoy the clear waters. And I left you with 7 strategies to be able to do it. So grab it, everybody. It's free, and it's for you. Another Facebook user said, I am a 10. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, guys.